Hey guys, and welcome back to Raise Trains. On today's episode, we got something a little bit different, but pretty cool. I've got 3 freight cars here from Lionel, and they all have graffiti on them. Yes, graffiti. Now, I wouldn't call this a controversial thing in the hobby, but I would say, from what I've seen in videos, people either hate these things or they love them. Now, what I can gather from the people that hate them are, I guess, just the look. And then the other thing that's a little funny to me is, I guess they don't like the idea of the vandalism, but to me, that just makes it prototypical. Being from New York, I think it would be weird to see a freight car that didn't have graffiti on it, because they all did. So I get not liking them. Everyone has their own opinion, but to me, they look awesome. They're prototypical. And another thing is, I think if someone tags a locomotive or a freight car, they probably don't even know that Lionel exists or spend any time of their life thinking about model trains. So I love it. I think it looks cool. I think you're going to start seeing Lionel put graffiti on their locomotives. I heard that the companies weren't too keen on that. I guess they didn't want to promote it or have people think, oh, that it was okay. But the bottom line is money. And Lionel has already told us that these cars sell better than the regular ones. So I'm excited to open these. So let's get to it one at a time. Okay, so first up, we've got a Conrail coil car. It says with graffiti, and it's by Lionel, and all 3 of these cars are scale. So they might look a little funny at the end of the video when I run them with my Lion Chief locomotive, which is only semi-scale. But that's all I've got to work with for now. Hopefully that's going to change in the next video, but let's get into this. Okay, this thing looks awesome. Now, I'm pretty sure, yep. So the great thing about all of these cars is Lionel painted each side with different graffiti to make it more realistic. So each side is different, and the detail on this thing is incredible. So why don't we get this on a piece of track and take a closer look at it. Okay, first impressions on this coil car. This thing looks great. We have some of the best detailing I've ever seen on a model. We've got the NYC here, which I love. But I had an interesting conversation with my dealer about the graffiti, and he was saying how, well, usually it's supposed to mean something, and Lionel kind of just throws random words on here, which I kind of agree with and I don't agree with. Obviously, Lionel's not going to put the F word all over their cars or cursing or anything like that. We all know they're not going to do that. So is it going to be the most prototypical thing? Probably not. But to me, unless you really pick this thing up, you're not going to see every word that's written on here. And I'm actually having trouble making out some of them. But that's kind of what graffiti is, right? You kind of drive by it or ride by it, and you notice it's there, but are you really reading too much into it? I don't know. I guess this is the word tint, which looks cool. And then this says Ichabod instead of Ichabod, which I actually think is a little nod to the Hudson line, because the tracks run right through Sleepy Hollow. which was pretty close to where I grew up. And I think that's such a nice touch. But what I love about these cars is Lionel. Oh, well, actually, here's a four-letter F word that I don't even, I guess says Fesk. I don't know what that's supposed to be. But the great thing about Lionel's rendition of these cars is they put different graffiti on both sides. There that says Crow and Rise Above. Oh yeah, that's great. Wow, this thing looks cool. And then this being a coil car, I actually think Lionel is supposed to give you, I think this comes off and the coils are actually inside. Let's see if I can get it off without breaking this thing. Oh yeah. Oh, that's so cool. So here's your coils and you can unwrap them and lay them in there. And I'll do that before I run it, but yeah, let's see if I can get this back on. Yeah, easy as that. Wow. Okay, let's get on to the box car next. And at the end of the video, I'll run all these too. Okay, next up, we've got a Conrail box car. Now this box car is humongous. I'm almost to the point of ridiculousness, but it looks awesome. So let's open this thing up. I don't know how, I guess, I don't even know how you would have a layout big enough to accommodate like 4 of these things. It would be hilarious. That would be the whole train, but okay. Oh yeah. This thing is so cool. You've got graffiti on both sides that's different. The detail on this thing is so cool. You're gonna see a lot of Conrail and CSX stuff on this channel because, well, as you can see, New York City right there, this is what I'm used to seeing and this is what I like. So, all right, let's get this thing on a very long piece of track and take a closer look at it. Okay, this Conrail boxcar is enormous. This thing is huge. It almost takes up my whole table here. But the detail on this thing is so great. The graffiti looks awesome. I love the NYC here again. This is exactly like something you would see coming down the Hudson line. I believe these doors, yeah, these doors don't open, but I almost like the graffiti better on this than the coil car because this looks pretty prototypical to me. You can't really make out what they say, but you just know that it's graffiti. And I think that's so cool. So let's check out the other side here. And like the coil car, the graffiti is all different on this side as well. And one disappointing thing I'm now realizing is this car is so big, much like other engines that are this long. I don't think I have curves to even run this thing, which would be disappointing, but we'll test it out. And let me see if there's any detailing on the side. There's some really nice detailing, no graffiti, but yeah. Okay, we'll try and get this on my little bit of fast track I have, and I'm guessing this is gonna derail, but we'll try it. I love this thing though. Okay, and last but not least, we have a Husky stack car, container car. And this one's going to be interesting because there's no graffiti on the actual containers, just on the bottom part, but I'm going to talk about pricing at the end of the video. And we've got our containers here. See if I can get the container on without breaking it. Oh yeah. And this thing looks awesome. This car is a TTX. They didn't really have any road names that I liked, but I just thought this one looked the coolest. Oh yeah. All right, let's get this thing on a piece of track and take a closer look at it. Okay, and now getting a closer look at the Husky stack car. One thing I did notice putting this on the track, this is the heaviest car of the three by a mile, which is kind of surprising because the two containers are just all plastic. So that means just this whole bottom part is all metal, and the weight was incredible. I have a little more hope that this thing will go around the curves on my little fast track here on the bottom. It's going to be cutting it close, but I think we can make that at least work. So let's flip this around. Again, you see the graffiti just on the bottom, which is supposedly prototypical because usually people can't get up this high to spray paint the containers. So I actually like that the containers are left blank here. So let's flip it around and see if they actually put different stuff on the other side. Yep, and they did. I mean, these things just look so cool. Again, I like that you can't really make it out, which to me is probably more prototypical than the first one, where you can actually read the words, but the detailing on this is so awesome. Let's see if we can check out the underside of these. Okay. We got the walkways there. I mean, this is so cool. So let's get these out on my little track and see if we can run it. Now, like I said, all three of these cars are scale. So if you've seen my other videos, you know right now all I have is a John Deere Lion Chief engine. So it's not going to be prototypical, I know, but it's what I've got to work with for right now. So let's see how ridiculous I can get this train to look. Okay, I have zero hope that this box car isn't going to derail, but let's give it a try. Oh, yep, derail. Okay, hold on. Okay, guys, that's going to wrap it up here today on Raised Trains. Sorry about the boxcar derailing. Hopefully we get started on this layout construction sooner rather than later so I can get bigger curves to accommodate this bigger stuff. But I definitely recommend these cars. They look great. They're so cool. And just give you some pricing on them. The coil car was $89. The Husky Stack car was $120. And the big box car was $90. So you can probably find some good deals at your local dealer. But yeah, that's going to do it. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.